Hi, my name's Shad. I'm coming to you from Atitlan Organics in Lake Atitlan, Guatemala. And today I'm going to show you how to kill, pluck, and eviscerate a chicken so that it's ready to go. So I'm going to pop it in this cone here. Get into some more detail after we kill it, but I want to do this first because it does take some time to drain out. I use my non-dominant hand, which is my left hand, to hold the back of the head, and you see the neck is here. Really sharp knife, cut the front of the neck, never on the back here but on the front. I like to clear my mind. I like to say thank you. I like to consider it a gift, and then I just go for it. Thank you. So as you can see, the cone helps keep the chicken in place while its nerves are reacting and the blood is coming out. We typically have a bucket here that would capture the blood, but right now we don't have that set up, but you can use the blood for a fertilizer. I'll take this moment to talk about some of the preparation. So one thing we did was we sharpened our knife. We also heated a big pot of water to 160 degrees Fahrenheit, usually 160, 165 degrees, because we know that by the time we take it out here and we kill the chicken and we let it drain out and let it stop like freaking out, it'll cool down a couple of degrees. The ideal scalding temperature is around 150 to 155 degrees Fahrenheit. So next in the process is the dunking process. I'm going to hold the head because we'll also pluck that. And we're going to wait one more second till the chicken's finished. These chickens usually come out between 3.5 and 5.5 pounds. It depends exactly on the age. But there you can see is the chicken. And now we're going to go over to the dunk. I'm going to put my knife down and put the head down. And take off the lid. I'm going to drop the head in there. And then all at once I'm going to dunk. And you can get a little bit in further. And you see I really want to get all the feathers fully submerged. I really want to make sure that the hot water penetrates. Waterfowl have the oil on their feathers much worse, but the chickens as well have some oil that prevents the scalding water from fully penetrating. I like to make it almost do a little chicken dance, you know. After about 10 seconds of dunking, you take it out and you let the hot water drain over the pot so you can conserve it. You see, this is not the only chicken we're doing today, so I like to do a second dunk for another 10 seconds and really move it all around in the hot water and make sure it gets penetrated. If you dunk properly, the feathers should come out very, very, very easily. If you get the water too hot, you will scald the actual meat of the bird. So as you can see now, I like to start with the wing, because the wing can be tricky if the skin gets cold. So I like to really go around both wings. And you see, when the scalding is done properly, you don't even really use any effort other than just making physical contact with the feathers. I like to start from each leg after that. There's some feathers that like to hide on the inner thigh. And you see, just by me rubbing my hand over, making sure I'm making contact with each feather, and really going over it, get the butt feathers out. They come out a bit harder, but they should all come out really nicely. And pretty quickly, you see it actually looks like a chicken you bought in the store. Just much better. So I'm going to move all these feathers off to the side. I'm going to just go around the neck as well. You got to do. So I always say nobody wants to eat chicken feathers. So you really do want to be pretty thorough. Keep in mind we will do another pass of this in the kitchen sink. But now is the time to do the chicken. Now the time to get all the feathers off as much as possible. So you can see that's pretty good. I'm going to grab my hose. The other thing we have set up, you're fine, is a little water source to clean everything off as we go. We want to get the feathers off. I'm going to do something with them later. For now, I'll just get them off the sides. I want to go over once on the wings, briefly make sure everything is looking fit and ready to go. Just this one little pass with cold water really makes a difference. Look under the wing and inside the thigh. There's always some hiding. Pretty good. All right, that's for rinsing. Put that back there. And now, where's my knife? So then I take the feet and I look for where the knuckle is, so you can see there's one joint there and the other part of the joint there, and I just go right in and take it off. You should never have to cut any bone when you take off the feet. It should just come right off. So now this comes the evisceration. So the first thing to do is to get your finger under the neck, into the body cavity, under the neck, or under the skin of the neck. Now the two rules of eviscerating any kind of meat is two things. You don't want to break any tubes, but you have to break membranes. So we starved these guys for 12 hours. We didn't give them any food. That helps to clean out their digestive tract. So basically what I'm doing right now is I'm going in, and this is the feed tube, which I just separated. I'm really going in along the meat of the neck into the body cavity, and I start to actually scrape the rib cage, the inner rib cage. My finger's up there, and around here I'm actually on its spinal cord, and I'm separating all the organs in a circular motion, separating from the body cavity, and that way they're all loosened. And in that process you can also hook the feed sack, but if you can't get that on your first try, don't worry. Once that part is done and you think that you've gone in as deep as possible with your finger and you've separated all the organs from the internal body cavity, we flip the chicken on its breast, so it's on its breast like that, breast down, and we hold the butt up in the air. So what I'm going to do is, this is probably the most important part. You don't want to cut any of the poop tube. We're actually going to cut a square or a circle. It's easier to think of a square around the butt. So we're going to cut there. Then I'm going to hold the butt and cut there. And there's some fat here, so you do have some leeway. You can cut through that fat pretty easily. Cut here, through the fat. The fat is the yellow, that's how you know. And then cut here. And you really do, you want to separate all those meats. Sometimes a teeny bit of poop is still left in there. You just got to get that out. Try not to let it hit the meat. And you want to actually separate the tube from the body. The poop tube, which is this thing there, see? That's the poop tube fully separated, and it's now ready to come out. So I'm going to reach in with 2 or 3 fingers, and I'm actually going to just pull out everything. Try to grab the gizzard, which is the hard thing in the middle, and I just pull it all, comes right out. Now, these are your organs. This green thing here is attached to the liver. It is the gallbladder. It's really gross. You don't want to eat it. You don't want to break it. So you want to take your time when you separate the liver from the gallbladder, or you break it like I did. So I'm going to separate that part of the liver that had it, so that it doesn't touch the meat. It's not a big deal. It just tastes really acidy. And then I'm going to wash off my hands. You see that green on there is from the gallbladder. Rinse that off. Rinse that off. Okay, that's fine. And then you got your liver, you got your kidney, you got your heart, you got some lungs probably left inside still. There's a chicken lung. And one more. And the last of the organs is the gizzard. And that has a bit of fat on it, which you like to save. So if you see, I'm going to butterfly the gizzard. I'm going to cut right down the middle, like that, and open it up. Get it all out. That's the chicken's stomach. You see all the pebbles and all the stuff that it actually uses to break up its food. And I'm going to spray it down a little, clean it off. This is the only red meat on the chicken. And I'm going to hold the hose here, and I'm just going to get out of there. Get out of here. And I'm going to separate the gizzard, and this yellow thing comes off, and you take that off, and now this is all good to eat. The feet, the organs, and the chicken, which I'll give one final spray to, just to really clean it off. And you see there shouldn't really be any feathers. No excuse, even with your hands, to leave any feathers on, even if there is one or two. Take the time to get them out, really clean that off. I like to spray inside a little bit and really pluck it out, make sure there's no more feathers anywhere, and boom. And that is how we kill and eviscerate and slaughter a chicken.